In this lesson you learn how to measure the density of a moving object in a video. The video format which can be imported into ImagemeterPro is the FLV or F4V video format, which is a flash format. You need to obtain a video converter first to convert regular videos into flash video format. A good video converter is the Adobe Media Encoder. We first import the video into the Media Encoder. There are many formats which can be converted, including image sequences. The settings are by default to give a high quality movie. The output file folder and format is shown here. We then press the green button to start the conversion, which is very fast because this movie is short and simple. We can now use the converted movie for our analysis. We can now load the flash video. To measure the spot density, we first need to determine the color density of the spot. We check the Check RGB box and look at the RGB values. We also check once more the background at the point where it is lightest. So we set a value above the background value, which is for example 110 for red, green and blue. We could set a higher value, but the value just has to be higher than the background. We uncheck the Check RGB box and set the frame rate, which we know for this particular video is 5. We can play around with frame rates, which can be set up to 30 per second. We then create a rectangle around the object and press the Analyze Film button. We can stop the analysis and start again where we stopped. As you see, the box is migrating with the object. Each box is one image. We can see the individual images and save them as a record. We then press the Calculate button and get the results as raw values and percentage, whereby the first image spot density is set to 100%. Next, we want to analyze a colored spot in a video with a light background. We import the video and determine the RGB values of the spot and the background. We have a problem here, because the background RGB value is higher than the spot RGB value. Although one could solve the problem by trying to manipulate the RGB settings, since white is different from red. But there is an easier way. We press the Invert Image button. And if we measure now, the RGB value of the background is similar to a black background. The spot analysis indicates a blue-green color for the spot. We can see that by creating a rectangle around the spot. However, we need to first set the color threshold, or we get an error message. We set the color threshold to 50, 70, 70. We see that our prediction was correct. We can now set the frame rate, which is again 5, and push the Analyze Film button. Once finished, we want to see the individual images again. We have actually the option to select two different image sizes. This time we select a smaller image size. And again we want to see the spot density values. There are the raw color values, the area 1 or spot pixels, the area 2 or rectangle number of pixels, which are always the same, and finally the spot density values in percentage. And this concludes this lesson.